So, Ghost Dog, how are you doing tonight, man?
Hey, just taking it easy after a long, stressful week at work.
Yeah. So, let's go ahead and get the interview started, dude. So,
Yeah.
what brought you to playing MCOC, and I mean, how did you stick around to playing it? How did
Uh,
you keep sticking
Scott.
around to playing it?
Yeah, I think I've told this story a couple of times. So those who've been following me on YouTube for the last couple of years are kind of know the story. But my son, he downloaded the game one time, and we were leaving the barbershop, and he was messing around with it. I said, "Oh, that's a cool looking game." I asked him the name of it, and he looked it up and he told me. I was like, "All right, cool." Well, I thought that he was going to keep playing it. I downloaded it. Told him a couple weeks later, like, "Hey, I've been playing. What do you think of the game?" And he told me, "Oh, I deleted that game already." But I used
So,
it. I kind of used it to
yeah.
kind of help push me through school. When I first started playing it, it would be just like, I'd study for a little while, but I'd want something to kind of take my mind off of the schoolwork. So I would just kind of coast through story mode. This was back before 12.0. So I would
Yeah.
just kind of coast through story mode and things like that. So I've been playing for almost 5 years.
Right on. And about how long after that did you want to get into start making content like YouTube and getting involved with people on Twitter?
Well, the YouTube thing kind of just was so this page is actually was renamed. It was an old page I used to have for like music promotion and stuff like that. I used to do for people
Hmm.
um, back many, 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 many years ago. So if you ever look at the actual age of the page, I think it's like 10 years old or something like that. But it got
Wow.
renamed a couple of years ago. Once I figured out how to rename it, mainly because I was doing big crystal openings, and so to put those like online or Discord, obviously they don't take large videos, so I needed a place to put large videos, and I kind of stuck them on my YouTube page, and with having for my alliance mates back in my very first alliance, they would look at them and like, okay, cool, and it started getting traction from other people. Then eventually, kind of pushed me into YouTube when I kind of started hang a little bit more with Dork Lessons. Him and I
Yeah.
kind of built a relationship, and he was like, "You should go more onto your YouTube page. People like you, man." Because I was doing crystal openings to put on his Friday opening things that he had, either whether it was Grandmaster Fridays or Cavalier Fridays. Uh,
Right.
when he was doing that for a while, I'd make sure I record videos. So that's where a lot of people actually came from that followed me, liked me there on my openings there, so they would come to my YouTube page and subscribe and things like that, and just kind of got my following built up from there.
Right. So, about how long uh after that did you want to apply for the CCP and start getting involved in that way?
Well, I knew I needed to kind of grow my channel first before I applied for the CCP because I knew they had a threshold. I didn't know what the threshold was, but it took me probably about a year afterwards before I applied for the CCP, just because I wanted to get used to making content. Because I was making crystal openings, which is cool, which are cool, and people like them. But like, I wasn't like recording fights at the time. I wasn't doing all that. I didn't think people would want to see me and how I fought. I think one of my very first videos that I ever made that was an actual fight video was war videos of me fighting Iron Man Infinity War when he first came out with a 4-star rank 5 Hyperion in War on lane 7 on the second map, the second war map.
Right. Which is very early.
Yeah, it was still really early in the game.
Yeah.
If you remember when Iron Man Infinity War first came out, he's pretty annoying as a defender. People couldn't figure out how to beat him, and I was like, I use Hyperion. This is how I do it. Uh, that one kind of got a lot of clicks, so that was kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay, so about how much time do you spend playing MCOC versus creating videos like crystal openings and stuff like that?
Um, as of lately, I haven't been playing as much, but when I normally play, I usually play around, I don't know, a couple hours, 2 3 hours a night, uh, with arena grinding and then AQ and war. I would say probably a couple hours, 2 to 3 hours a night.
Yeah. Okay. And about how much time do you spend making content?
So if I'm making content, I'm probably paying a little bit more. When I'm making deep content, when I'm making something like a CCP video or something like that, if I'm putting in fight scenes and rank up videos and stuff like that, I'm playing a lot more, and I'm forcing myself to do it in front of a camera as opposed to just sitting around zoning out in front of a television. So
Right.
therefore, I'm playing a lot more with a little bit more attention to detail, so I can hopefully explain why things are going the way they're going the way they're going.
Okay. So, what do you think your streams get more views, or do you think your crystal openings get more views and attention?
Crystal openings are always a crowd favorite. Everybody likes to see what you get or how bad your pulls are going to be. If you ever watched any of my crystal openings, you know that my reactions for when I pull good stuff versus when I pull terrible stuff are very dramatically different.
Yeah.
No matter how much I
Yeah.
try to hide them, they're dramatically different. Um, so I think my largest viewed video was a crystal opening I did last January. Yeah, I think it was last January.
How many crystals was that?
It was. I mean, the crystals. It was probably. I mean, now in today's standards, it's nothing but like 6 crystals, six five
Oh,
star
okay.
crystals.
Oh,
I
that's
have to
not
say
bad.
for the entire month of January. Yeah, today is not bad,
Yeah,
but
you could have
back
got that
then,
over Cyber Weekend.
yeah, yeah, no, like a non holiday. I think this was back in January 2019. I was
Okay.
right when I first started my channel. I think that video topped out around 3,500 views. Um,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. So, whenever how many views do your streams get compared to your crystal
It
openings?
depends on the stream. Some streams
Yeah.
like I did a live Cyber Weekend crystal opening, and
Hmm.
I probably had a consistent 60 plus viewers during that live stream. Whereas on a normal live stream, it can range anywhere from about 15 to about 35 people.
Right. Okay. That's not so bad though.
No,
Whenever you're
it's not a bad group. It's busy enough in the chat that the chat's moving, but not so busy that I can't read every single comment. Like some of the bigger
right,
YouTubers.
right. Okay. So once you got into the CCP, how do you feel like your involvement into the game changed?
Just being more of a voice for some of the people out there. Uh, just a quick example: Cyber Weekend, I had a subscriber come to me and say, "Hey, he goes, I made a purchase, I didn't get it," and Um, so I told him what to do to try to get in touch with support. He said he tried that. He hadn't heard from support in 2 days. He bought the initial deal on Friday. It was Saturday, late Saturday, early Sunday when he finally told me about it.
Hmm.
And he told me he hadn't heard back from him. I said, well, send me your information of what you got back, and I'll get it to somebody else who I speak to on a regular basis and see if they can kind of push it up the ladder and kind of get someone to take a look at it because they pay for the deals. They should be able to get the deal.
Right.
Um,
Totally.
but on top of that, just being a part of like some of the without disclosing my NDA. Um, K Dog is asking where to go for the interview, but um, I guess to listen.
Oh, you
Um,
gotta join the interview room
yeah,
chat.
he can't hear that. That's
Oh,
why he's asking. Someone can let him know. But just being a part of the CCP allows me to, if there's something in the game that people have questions about who is one of the guys for incursions, not the guy for incursions, pop by and answer questions and things like that. So having that connection with, being that middle guy for, I think that's always a cool, and even for someone that's channel as small as mine, I just thought that was a cool
Right.
to have
Yeah, I
happen.
totally agree. And some for anybody to, you have to have content.
Gotta have content
So,
with enough followers.
right.
Yeah, you gotta prove you have
Yeah.
got a following.
Where you at when you got into CCP? Were you Cavalier? Had already beat Act 6? Had you?
Yeah, I was already Cavalier to already beat Act 6, but I think it's more about they don't look at your level as much because there's people who aren't Cavalier or who are barely Cavalier, um, who are in the CCP. I don't think they look at your level. They look at how many followers you have. Um, as far as like do you have the 500 YouTube subscribers, or do you have some kind of other following on a blog page or something along them lines?
Okay. So, I mean, you said that there's some people that aren't even Cavalier yet. Like, if you're
I think everybody's now
okay.
Cavalier, but I do know that at a point in time, everybody may not have been Cavalier.
So,
I think there is a few that aren't.
so I guess
Just like 2 or 3.
so. I guess one of my questions is, with the Cavalier Cyber Weekend deals that just came out, how many of those
Mm-hmm.
people that were in the CCP spoke up against that?
Several.
Okay.
There were several Cavalier players in the CCP who said that they were very taken back by the deals. And I think I talked about this on the last podcast Moose and I had, where the Cavalier deals would have been great for people who just got Cavalier. And I think if you look at that from Caban's perspective, that's what they probably were shooting for. But what they did was they took this whole other group of players who are just outside of Thornbreaker, but still Cavalier, and kind of alienated them from anything good on that weekend.
Right.
And it didn't rub well. If you've been Cavalier for like the last 6 months or so, you've made your way through most of Act 6 for initial clear, or you have done your initial clear, and the RNG just wasn't with you for pulling the right T5CC because you didn't jump into Abyss to go get the full, hopefully get the full T5CC you needed.
Yeah.
Then it felt kind of just kind of bad at that point. I don't know. It just felt wrong. Like maybe there should be a middle level between Cavalier and Thornbreaker that kind of puts those people who are there at that progression level into a different category.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I mean, it would make way more sense because there's definitely an in between there. As you said, there's a beginner Cavalier, a middle Cavalier, and then somebody who is almost Thronebreaker. I mean, it would make more sense for the deals to show it. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, I definitely thought those deals, and I talked about my predictions. I thought the Cavalier deal, the $100 deal, would have had selectors for those Cavalier players, and I did, instead of random 10% crystals. And I don't think that would have broke the game in any way or form or fashion. It gave that person who's almost Thornbreaker the opportunity to become Thornbreaker over the weekend, but it wouldn't allow a brand new Cavalier player to be able to get a fully formed T5CC. So even if they kind of mixed it up to where some deals are for the new ones and some deals are for Cavalier players who are closer, they could have found a way to make it work. And I think they would have made more money that weekend that way.
Oh, dude, I totally agree. I mean, they're selling random T5cc. What is it? 10% in the store for $50. You could have gotten. I mean, you literally could have paid twice the price and gotten a 6-star Nexus with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, who wants a random T5cc? I mean, especially with the RNG the way it is.
Right. Yeah. RNG is not kind when you're looking for a very small percentage of something or a very particular character. As you can tell on both my sides, I've been there on both sides. So
yeah. Jax, you got any questions?
Yeah. So yeah, did Kabam say anything about that? At least that you can say it from the CCP or outside of it?
I can't really say anything more than that. We've had conversations.
Oh.
Yeah, unfortunately, the NDA is very, very strict about what's said in the chat stays in the chat. So
okay, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But just do note that there were several Cavalier players in there fighting for the Cavalier people.
And
it made my dad be Thronebreaker. He was on the verge, and he was like, "Got to see the deals first," and then he's like, "Nope, I'm Thronebreaker now."
Cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool that your dad plays. Like I said, I kind of wish my son would have stuck with it and we could have played together.
Yeah, that's why I like your story.
Yeah, but he didn't, and I tried to get my stepson to play. He played for a little while, and then I just don't know if he lost interest because he was interested for a while, and then I think he just kind of lost steam on it as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of tough. It's rough to see when your stepdad's got all these amazing 5-stars, and you're starting the game trying to figure out how to get to where he's at, but you're just starting, and you're doing it free to play.
Yeah, my dad's a lot better at the game than I am, so I'm still catching up to him, man. It's crazy how better he is at the game than me.
So, Ghost Dog.
Yeah.
When you, I guess I don't know how much you can say about the CCP. But what exactly goes into the NDA whenever you're going to join the CCP? What can you talk about each month, and what can you not talk about each month?
So I can tell you what people already know. There are embargo dates for when champs are released,
right,
or information is released, and if we are caught breaking that NDA, there are severe penalties for the person within the CCP. Because it's an NDA. I mean, you could technically be sued.
Right.
So with the Scarlet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna ask about the Scarlet Witch. I saw that Scarlet Witch was leaked, saying that people thought it was coming out this month, but CCP said a lot of CCP members said that she wasn't coming out this month. Was that they had a week to say that? Because for a while it was leaked
that she was coming out, but that's what happens when people data mine. They data mine something they think they found, and they think, oh, this is going to be the champ, and just because it may have been an old file. So when you data mine, you're looking at a bunch of old files.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Jessica Jones is still in there. She never was a character, but she's in there. And I think that may have been what happened with Scarlet Witch. I think. Obviously, at some point she's going to come in the game. She's on the screen. I don't know. Maybe she's a non-playable character. Yeah, because she's in the game.
Right.
Yeah, when you fight her.
I don't know. I haven't done any content this month. I finally jumped into the very first monthly thing this afternoon while I was just sitting around not doing anything, and. That was the side event where you get all the shards, the legendary.
Oh yeah, doing it right now.
One, I just finished that off 100% while I was just kind of sitting around waiting around. Because most of my top champs are locked up in War and AQ right now. So, I use what I call my C team, my D teams, to kind of carry me through the rest of that. That will be an opening coming up soon to come out near you.
Right on. So what's new? What is coming up for the future of Ghost Dog in 2021?
2021. It sounds weird to say, but I'm gonna try to finish up early in 2021, Act 6. Get that out 100%. I've kind of slowed down on my Act 6 streams just because of timing more than anything else. That's another big issue with not being. I'm not a full time YouTuber. I don't play this game full time. I have an actual job and a family and things like that. So I play when I kind of have time, which I do have a good significant amount of time, especially with this time with COVID. So we're not going out as much. We're not doing as much. So I have more time to kind of do things. I have a normal stream schedule. As far as new stuff, honestly, I really don't know. I kind of hope to be able. I have a new office. I have a new area, so I'll be more secluded in 2021. Hopefully, maybe be able to pump out a few more streams in 2021, live streams. Right now, I have a pretty strict stream schedule. Usually Wednesday nights, Friday nights, and Saturday nights. Some of that may change with some upcoming outside of MCOC stuff coming up.
Okay.
But yeah, but hopefully some more growth in the channel, some more videos, some more how to use so characters in 2021. I made a few CCP videos. I did some live testing on some characters, but nothing. Hopefully next year I'll be able to do more, just more videos in general.
So do you test every character?
I honestly, when Cosmic Ghost Rider came out, I didn't get a chance to test them. I have them. I had them. I had the ability to do it. I just didn't get the chance to do it.
Right.
Yeah, my life dictates on what I can and can't do.
Mm-hmm. I totally understand that. Work gets in the way. Life gets in the way.
Yeah, like
wife, kids.
I'm hoping I get the chance to test Spider-Ham out. I haven't even looked. I'm assuming we have them. I haven't looked yet.
Oh yeah, people are pulling 6 stars.
Yeah, so I'm assuming. I know he's out there for us to test. So hopefully I'll get to test him, or maybe I'll just pull him out. You know what? I'll let the cat out the bag. I didn't go for any of the new this 2020 crystals. I went for 2019 crystals. So if you've been following my channel, you know why I'm going for 2019 crystals.
Yeah, we know. I'm not gonna say anything, but we know.
Yeah. In the hopes that I pull that 2019 champ that I've been looking for
forever. Yep, we understand. I hope you get him, dude. It's about time. You deserve him.
5 or a 6-star, because now I have a 6-star skill awakening gem. That I pulled from Cyber Weekend. So if I can pull him as a 6-star, that'd even be better. Because I could rank him up to rank 2 right now with no issues, and then throw an awakening gem at him, and he'll be good to go.
For people who don't know who we're talking about, we are talking about the one and only Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, you can't pull a Nick Fury. I can't pull a Doom.
My Nick Fury. Journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
It's getting a little ridiculous. I don't even have a human torch yet.
3.
I keep keep pulling him.
Doesn't near so much that you don't,
it's
you only get these group of
too much.
Whereas if you roll a basic crystal, at least you have the opportunity if you miss.
Yeah. So, with the objectives the past couple months, found yourself ranking up 4 stars just to do that?
I do not. I will not. I refuse to do the 4-star challenge. Cavalier was already long enough on its own. And then to turn it around and say, here, use your 4 stars to go through it one more time, or to finish off your chapter with 4 stars.
Yeah,
that's going to take you 4 as 4 stars. I think I have a Domino rank 4. A few other ones out there. They're pretty nice champs that I just haven't taken past rank 4. No, I take that back. Domino's rank 5. I used a 4 to 5 gem on her.
okay.
But there's a couple other ones out there that I do have rank 4. But I don't feel like the resources, the T1 Alpha, the T5 base or the T4 basics, those you need to rank up your 5-star champs, and I believe even sometimes your 6-star champs, if I'm not mistaken.
Right on. So, who are some of your least favorite champs to play in game?
To play?
Yeah, to play with.
Karnak. I don't like playing with him. Honestly, in my arena, I skip him. I skip Korg because they both hit like wet noodles. I don't like fighting with Mortal I fight with. It's a couple other ones out there, but those two stick out in my head right away. Like Korg and Karnak stick out in my head right away. Just because it takes Thor Rags. If I can skip over fighting with Thor Rags, I'll do that too.
Do you have your Thor Rags ranked up for prestige?
No. I just pulled the 6-star one over Cyber Weekend. I pulled the 5-star one. I think he's still sitting at rank 1. And I think I'll fight with my 4-star one just because those fights aren't long anyway. When I'm doing the
Arenas.
Basic 4-star arena.
Yeah.
I'll do that fight with him. But outside of that, nah. No, I can avoid taking him into any content. I will.
So who are some of your favorite champions to play?
Man, Human Torch is one of my favorites to play, especially when I can use the pre-fight ability. Just so much fun to watch people melt, no matter how much health they have.
Yeah.
Because those Nova Flames are just deadly. If you needed someone to take on a debuff immune fight, he can still do that with Nova Flames because they're passive, and it's so much fun to watch a debuff immune champ just melt. Corvus, I have him at rank 3. I like using him a lot in AQ and some questing as now as well. And then Stealthy, I have at rank 3. I enjoy playing him. I enjoy playing Magneto now. Believe it or not, I don't know. 6 months ago, if you'd asked me that, I would have said Magneto. But today, I say Magneto. I think he's a lot of fun, especially against metal champs. Watching him against Cosmic Ghost Rider, that during that monthly event, that was so much fun to use him to finish off those fights so fast.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that can help me finish off a fight quicker, I generally have fun with. Hyperion, Captain Marvel movie. There's Warlock in there. I love Warlock for his regen reduction and degen when you do regen. So that's a lot of fun there too.
Yeah.
Gilly 2099. I just recently ranked 5 and been playing with her a lot more lately. And she's a lot of fun too. She's I like to use her intercepting, and the fact that she doesn't crit helps out a lot. I use her on the first day of AQ because our first day of AQ is that the one where if you crit, you get the debuffs, and then if you crit 4 times in a row, you get that degen. And then I always fight Void in section 3. and he pretty much just melts whoever you fight with if you crit. So if I bring her, she doesn't crit.
Is that map 6?
About that. Yeah, map 6.
Okay. Right on, dude. I just took my Guillotine 2099 to rank 2. So
as a 6-star?
My 6-star. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait to pull her as a 6-star. I have any good tech 6-star. I just refuse to do anything
really?
Buster.
Even after his buff?
Yeah. Even after his buff. It's just I have other champs who do the same thing he does better.
Dude, I love him, man. I like his rotations.
Don't get me wrong. If you're an early game player and you need somebody who does that, and you don't already have other champs to do it better, he's great. He definitely fills a void. But I have that void filled already.
All right.
Fair.
So yeah, dude, the new variant 6 is coming out, right? Can you talk about that at all? Or do you know?
I know not as much about variant 6 as you guys.
Okay. All right. So
I had some questions about that.
Yeah, there's some stuff that we kind of get days before, and there's some stuff that we get weeks before.
Mm-hmm.
And that'd be like the beta, right?
Yeah, if we get things in the beta, things like that, we'll know weeks beforehand before you guys do. You get to see certain content that we can do within the beta if it's not embargoed.
Right.
But there's a lot of stuff that is embargoed. So yeah, variant 6 is we know about as much about it as you guys do.
Yeah, dude. Okay. So do you know anything about the new book 2?
New book 2, about as much as you guys know about.
Okay.
So, and what we got from the beta. I mean, the beta pretty much gave us what book 2 is going to kind of look like. The redo of the beta.
Right.
Because remember when it first came out, everybody was complaining about how it just felt like Act 6 but worse.
Right.
And nobody wanted to do that, and people were complaining about that. And Seaton dropped the video, and everybody jumped on with Seaton complaining about that. And it deserved it. They need to step back and kind of think about, okay, what are we doing with our content? Are we just trying to make it harder and harder for people to get through? Or are we actually making it fun? Like the Grandmaster fight. Even though I sucked at the Grandmaster fight, for the most part, the majority people love it. I can see why they loved it. When I did my fight, I was tired. I was like 3 hours in on streaming and finally fighting the Grandmaster. And I was like, I really just want to turn this off, but I can't because I have, 50 people watching.
Yeah.
While I'm trying to take down this Grandmaster. And literally they can see that I'm worn out. And some were like, yeah, just take a break. Like, how do you take a break during a live stream?
Yeah. Put on a Be Right Back screen.
Yeah, Be Right Back screen. I'll be back in half an hour. Nobody will be here. I'll be back in a half an hour.
Right. It'll be done, though.
Yeah. So, things like that.
Right.
I think if they thought more about some of the fun stuff that we had in the variants in Act 6 and bring that more to Book 2, I think you're going to find Book 2 to be a lot more fun. They brought some really cool interactions. I think that people are going to like being able to switch out champs. Switch out one champ. So say you get to a point, you have a team, you used Guillotine 2099 for all the fights you need her for, and you got a fight coming up. It's like, I really wish I had, Gladiator Hawk, or I wish I had, Colossus or somebody for this fight. You can go switch them out, switch that one champ out and bring them in for that fight that you need, you need to use them for. So it's kind of like a temporary 6th spot that you can use in Book 2. Right. So I think that's going to be kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. They also have like different bosses too, right?
Different bosses, which is something new. They haven't done that on any other game mode yet so far. So that's going to be kind of cool.
Right. Okay. So I guess the next thing I wanted to talk about was you were in Rich the Man's gifting video, right?
Yeah. He hit me up and said hey, do you mind giving me your thoughts on the topic of the gifting event? What things were wrong, or what things we would have to fix in order to bring it back? And
yes. So did they use your input per
no,
se, or did?
so Rich kind of did this on his own. And as Rich was putting it together, they kind of had announced that the gifting event was coming back. And so,
Okay, so
they kind of already had made some guidelines on some things that they wanted to kind of implement and see. And I'm hoping that, but like some of the things I think I said, like was locking how you can get in and out of alliances.
yeah.
And I think they actually have something like that going on where you have to be in so many days before you could participate.
Yeah, I believe it's 14 days.
Yeah.
You have to be in the alliance before you can participate in the gifting.
Yeah.
Gifting.
The only thing I wish they would have done on top of that was if you leave or get kicked before the gifting event is over, all your contributed points go with you. That would have eliminated a lot.
So what you're saying is,
But
if I'm an alliance leader and I kick somebody, their contributed points go with them.
yeah, would have went with them. Because
Right.
does that put a hindrance on certain leaders for you got the slacker, but they spent a ton of money on the gifting event.
Uh-huh.
Are you going to kick
That
them? Probably. You probably wouldn't. You probably would just hold on to them to the end of the event and then get rid of them at the end of the event.
right.
But I think that eliminates bots from coming in. So these people who had bots out there botting up all these accounts have this bot join the alliance and
Right.
then dump all their units to buy stuff and then leave.
Yeah. After the 14-day period or whatever.
During the 14-day period, yeah.
Yeah.
After the 14-day period. So yeah, you could get so the season is ending in 5 days. War season ends. We have this war and then Monday's war.
2 more.
That'll be over on Tuesday. And then season's pretty much over once we get rewards on Wednesday. So from that point, you have 14 days. So you can get a bot to join within that time frame because most people aren't doing much. It's not like you're going heavy on war.
Right. And AQ isn't really.
I mean, depending on the alliance, they may not care about AQ.
Right. Huh. But I don't know. That just seems like a big setup.
I can see where the downfall will be on that. If that part was implemented, like your points leave with you. Because again, it kind of hampers or handcuffs the alliance to somebody who they don't deem worthy enough to be there.
Right. Yeah, totally. There's definitely a couple people around, I'm sure, that spend a lot and don't play as much, and
I don't know if that's my internet or yours. I've just lost all count. I see his lights on. JX, can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah,
okay, so it's him.
Wouldn't be a podcast without difficulties.
There you go. Live stuff is always live for a reason. And he's back. Maybe.
You guys.
Yep. Nick, X in?
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. All right.
No, sorry.
No, you're fine.
Did I drop out?
You dropped completely out.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so Jax, do you have any questions?
How are you liking the new AQ season?
And this new map variation, right out the gate, went from dead.
Oh.
All for one special too. And he only had like anything going on, I'll be glad to hop on.
And anybody listening to after the fact, you can find Ghost Dog on YouTube at what's your handle on YouTube there?
So again, it goes back to the story of it being an old channel. But if you go to youtube.com/Kingpin 7354, okay. Or if you search Ghostdog54, sometimes that just pull me up too.
Right
so
on.
there you go.
Yeah, and I think that's it, fellas. Thanks for coming by and chatting it up on XN Interviews.
All right, thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, have a good Saturday evening.
Bye, everyone.